So now, today I will start the class for class 12 science mathematics. So today's new topic is inverse circular function. So now, what do you mean by function? I already told you about function in class 11 science. That is what is a function. So what is a function now? Suppose you have got y is equal to f of x. That is, here y and x are the two variables. Suppose y is equal to f of x. Okay, f of x means function of x. What is its definition? So depending upon the real values of x, if you can get a definite value of y, then y is said to be a function of x. So depending upon the real and definite value of x, if we can get a defined value of y, then defined and unique value of y, then y is said to be a function of x, right? So the function of x is usually denoted by f of x. It is read as function of x. Okay, so in this case x is known as the independent variable. X लाई चाहिँ हामी के भन्छौं? Independent variable, because you can write any values, any real values of x, and depending upon the value of x, you will get a definite and unique value of y. So here y is a function of x. That's why x is an independent variable, and depending upon the value of x, you can get the value of y. So y is a dependent variable. Y लाई चाहिँ हामी के भन्छौं? Dependent variable भनेर भन्छौं. So y is a dependent variable. So actually there are 5 types of functions. I already told you about it in class 11 that there are 5 types of functions, right? So now 5 types of functions are: you have to use the word Lie, right? So L is what? L is the logarithmic function. L is the logarithmic function. L is the logarithmic function. Yo I भनेपछि के हो? What is I? I भनेको चाहिँ हो inverse circular function. यो inverse circular function. Inverse circular function. What is A? A is an LZ-like function. A is an LZ-like function. What is T? T is trigonometric function. Trigonometric function. And what is E? E is exponential function. X is exponential function. E is exponential function. Okay. Now there are actually 5 types of functions. So you have to remember this word Liet. L-I-A-T-E. Liet. L is logarithmic function. I is inverse circular function. A is algebraic function. T is trigonometric function, right? And E is exponential function. Now today we shall discuss about this function only, that is inverse circular function. So what type of function is known as inverse circular function, right? So let us discuss about it. Now inverse circular function, okay? So what type of function is known as inverse circular function? Suppose we have sin x is equal to theta. Suppose we have sin x is equal to theta. Or what is the value for x? X is equal to what? Suppose if you have 4x is equal to 5, so x is equal to, this is 5 by 4. Now similarly, what is x is equal to कति हुन्छ तर हामीले यो चाहिँ यसै लेख्नु हुँदैन है थीटा बाइ sin कहिले पनि हुँदैन there is no such type of expression that is x is equal to theta by sin भन्ने एक्सप्रेसन नै हुँदैन बुझ्नुछ न त यसलाई हामी यसरी लेख्दैनौं त कसरी लेख्छौं sin उता जाँदा चाहिँ के भएर जान्छ यसलाई लेख्छौं हामी sin inverse theta is that clear now like 1 upon x छ भने के हुन्छ when x goes up in the numerator it becomes x to the power minus 1 right so whenever this sign goes to the right hand side it becomes sin to the power minus 1 but you cannot read it as sin to the power minus 1 it is read as sin inverse theta and there are 6 types of this type of functions sin inverse theta cos inverse theta cosec inverse theta sec inverse theta cot inverse theta and sec inverse theta like that okay all these are known as inverse circular function that is sin inverse x cos inverse x tan inverse x cot inverse x next sec inverse x and cosec inverse x okay all these type of functions are known as what inverse circular functions now let us derive some formulae okay so now that's one thing you cannot write this sin inverse x as 1 upon x right this is wrong way of representation of sin inverse x the sin inverse x लाई हामी 1 upon sin x लेख्नु हुँदैन है that is wrong way of representation right sin inverse x लाई कहिले पनि हामी 1 by sin x लेख्दैनौं ठीक छ अब हामी यहाँ एउटा फर्मुला डिराइभ गर्दैछौं त्यो फर्मुला के हो भन्दा फेरि अच्छा now look at the blackboard so sin x is equal to theta so what is x is equal to it is defined as sin inverse theta it is read as sin inverse theta so this is your inverse circular function right so or x is equal to sin inverse right so instead of this theta again you can put sin x sin inverse within bracket हामी के लेख्छौं sin x so x is equal to sin inverse sin x or from the right hand side what can we say sin inverse sin x is equal to x this is the formula what is sin inverse sin x sin inverse sin x is equal to x sin inverse sin x is equal to what x right so this is a formula okay so you should write the formula as now number 1 formula number 1 को 1 formula there are 6 type of formula like this sin inverse sin x is equal to x भयो भने cos inverse cos x पनि x right tan inverse tan x पनि x cot inverse cot x पनि x sec inverse sec x पनि x cosec inverse cosec x पनि x ए हुन्छ let us write down this one okay त तिमीलाई यो जुन चाहिँ म अब यहाँ फर्मुला लेख्दै छु त्यो फर्मुला चाहिँ तिमीले कपीमा लेख्नु पर्छ अब कपीमा लेख्नु पर्ने म यहाँ लेखाउँदै छु फर्मुला त्यो के हो भन्दा फेरि नम्बर 1 को 1 फर्मुला sin inverse sin x is equal to x right number 2 cos inverse cos x is equal to x right number 3 next what is tan inverse tan x that is also x this should be the same यदि cos inverse हो भने ब्रैकेट भित्र के हुनु पर्यो cos x अनि मात्रै तिमीले x लेख्न सक्छौ फेरि tan inverse हो भने ब्रैकेट भित्र there should be tan x which is equal to x number 4 cot inverse हो भने within bracket there should be cot x which is also x right and number 5 sec inverse sec x is equal to के हुन्छ x ए हुन्छ okay and number 6th formula that is cosec inverse cosec x is also what x So these are the formulae that you should know it. Okay, so you can copy it. तिमीले कपी गरेर राख्नु बुझ्यौ, याद पनि गर्ने। ठीक छ यहाँसम्म? अच्छा, अब म अर्को फर्मुला लिएर गर्छु ल। यो सानो नि हो। त यहाँसम्म बुझ्यौ? र अब हामी अर्को फर्मुला डिराइभ गरौँ। अब हेर फेरि यहाँबाट from here, okay, sin x is equal to theta is there. So again sin, now within bracket, instead of this x, what can you write? Sin inverse theta. Sin inverse theta is equal to what? Theta. Here also we got sin of sin inverse theta is equal to theta. That means sin inverse x, x. Instead of theta, if there is x, so this is also sin of sin inverse x is equal to x. That is also a formula. Similarly, what is cos? Cos inverse x is equal to x. Tan inverse x is equal to x. Cot inverse x is equal to x. Then sec inverse x is equal to x, and cosec inverse x is equal to x. So that is your number 2 formula. Okay. So let us write down number 2 formula. So number 2 formula is, write down number 1. Number 1 is this one. So instead of theta, we are writing x, right? So sin of, within bracket, sin inverse x is equal to what? X. Sin of sin inverse x is equal to x. Is that clear? Next, number 2, cos of cos inverse x is also what? X. Number 3, tan of tan inverse x is also x. Okay. Now number 4, cot inverse x is also x. Number 5, sec inverse x is also x. Number 6, cosec inverse x is also what? X. Okay. So these are the formulae. Number 1 6 formula, number 2 को 6 formula, यो पनि याद गर्नुपर्छ. सो बुझ्दैछ तिमीले हैन? त अब हामी जुन चाहिँ फर्मुलाहरु लेख्छौं त्यो फर्मुलाको लागि तिमीलाई ट्रिग्नोमेट्रीको फर्मुला पनि याद हुनुपर्छ, जुन चाहिँ तिमीले क्लास 11 मा गरिसकेका छौ. So you should know the formula from the trigonometry, that is from the chapter trigonometrical ratios of associated angles. Number 1 यो याद हुनु पर्यो. अनि अर्को याद हुनुपर्छ formula from compound angles from trigonometry. Then comes transformation of products and sums, then multiple angles and sub-multiple angles. All these are important formulae. You should know all these formula. Okay. Now we will derive the formula for this inverse circular function using that trigonometry chapters. That is trigonometrical ratios of associated angles, compound angles, transformation of products and sums, multiple angles and sub-multiple angles. तर त्यो जुन चाहिँ ट्रिगोनोमेट्रीको मैले च्याप्टरको जुन चाहिँ फर्मुला भन्दै छु त्यो फर्मुला चाहिँ तिमीलाई पछि डिफरेन्सिएसन गराउँछु, इन्टिग्रेसन गराउँछु हैन, त्यसमा पनि पुरै काम लाग्छ यो ट्रिगोनोमेट्री. ठीक छ? त फर्मुला चाहिँ तिमीलाई याद हुनुपर्छ ट्रिगोनोमेट्रीको. ठीक छ? त मैले क्लास 11 मा पनि तिमीलाई भनेको थिए कि यी फर्मुलाहरु जुन चाहिँ ट्रिगोनोमेट्रीको छ त्यो एकदमै इम्पोर्टेन्ट हो. त्यो एकदमै बिर्सिनु हुँदैन तिमीले. बुझ्दैछ? Now let us do another formula. So now I'll write down the formula first, then we will prove it, right? Because in this inverse circular function, you may get proof of this formula, right? So now number 3 formula is 3 number 1. Sin inverse x plus cos inverse x is equal to pi by 2. Okay? Number 2, tan inverse x plus cot inverse x is also pi by 2. Number 3, sec inverse x plus cosec inverse x is also what? Pi by 2. So these are also the formula that you should remember it. The यो पनि तिमीलाई याद गर्नुपर्छ. That is sin inverse x plus cos inverse x भनेको के रहेछ? Pi by 2 हैन. अनि tan inverse x plus cot inverse x भनेको कति हो? Pi by 2. अनि sec inverse x plus cosec inverse x is equal to pi by 2. त यसको पनि प्रुफ छ हैन. यो त्यसैले लेखेको हैन नि त हैन. There is a proof. So let us prove it. Okay. So proof of 1, right? So what is left hand side here? So LHS is equal to sin inverse x plus cos inverse x. So let us prove this is equal to pi by 2. Okay, so what is the method? So let us assume, let sin inverse x is equal to theta, right? Now take sin inverse to the right hand side. When only sine goes to the right hand side, it becomes sin inverse. But when sin inverse goes to the right hand side, it becomes sine. ठीक छ? अब sin inverse लाई उता लाँदा चाहिँ के भएर जान्छ? Sin भएर जान्छ. Or x is equal to कति भयो? Sin theta. So now from sin theta you can get the value of cos inverse x. Okay? Let us change this sin theta into cos. You know it from class 10 formula, trigonometry formula. That is sin theta is equal to cos pi by 2 minus theta. That is trigonometrical ratios of associated angles or complementary angles. So now sin theta is equal to cos 90 minus theta. Sin theta is equal to cos 90 degree minus theta. तो यो पनि तिमीले क्लास 10 मै गरेको हैन. तो यो साइन लाई हामी के बनाउँछौ? cos मा लान्छौ. और x is equal to cos of within bracket pi by 2 minus theta. ठीक छ यहाँसम्म. अब cos लाई फेरि यता ल्याऊ. और cos inverse x is equal to pi by 2 minus theta. Right? So this is your cos inverse x. So we have got both the values of sin inverse x. We have assumed sin inverse x equal to theta, and so from sin inverse x equal to theta we have x equal to sin theta. So sin theta is converted into cos 90 minus theta. That you did this formula in class 10. Okay. So cos cos inverse x is equal to pi by 2 minus theta. Right. So now left hand side. So again you copy this left hand side. What is left hand side now? Sin inverse x plus cos inverse x. Sin inverse x plus cos inverse x is equal to, what is that? Sin inverse x, we had assumed theta. Theta plus, what is cos inverse x? Pi by 2 minus theta, right? So your theta gets cancels, which is equal to what? Pi by 2. Proved, right? So sin inverse x plus cos inverse x is equal to, what is the formula? It is pi by 2. Proved. Okay? So similarly you can do this number 2 and number 3, you can prove it. So number 2 timale homework garnu. Number 2 is your homework. Let's do number 3. You copy it. Now let us do this number 3. Let us do proof of 3. So similarly you can do number 3. Proof of 3. Right? So what is left hand side? Number 3 ma left hand side says sec inverse x plus cosec inverse x. You have to prove is equal to pi by 2. Right? So you can use the same method here also. Let sec inverse x is equal to theta. Okay. Now sec inverse, take it to the right hand side. So what does it become? X is equal to sec theta. Okay. Now since you have to get the value for cosec inverse x, so convert this sec theta into cosec theta. Now also you know the formula, isn't it? So what is sec theta in terms of cosec theta? Sec theta is equal to cosec 90 degree minus theta. 90 degree is written in terms of radian, isn't it? That is pi by 2 minus theta. So you know how to convert degree into radians and radians into degrees. You have done it in class 10, isn't it? So now, or x is equal to, what is sec theta? That is cosec pi by 2 minus theta, right? Now take this cosec again to the left hand side. So what does it become? Cosec inverse, or cosec inverse x is equal to pi by 2 minus theta. So we have got the value for cosec inverse x in terms of theta, that is pi by 2 minus theta. Is that clear now? So again, now write down left hand side. So again you have to write down left hand side now. So LHS is equal to, what is LHS here? It is sec inverse x plus cosec inverse x, right? So now, what is sec inverse x? What was the value for sec inverse x that we had assumed? That is theta. Plus, what is cosec inverse x? Pi by 2 minus theta, right? So here theta gets cancels, which is equal to pi by 2. Proved. Okay, so number 3 is also done. So you can do number 2 at home. Okay, your number 2 is timako homework. बुझ्दैछ सबैले यो? त बुझ्दैछ होला तिमीले यो, हैन? र अब हामी अर्को प्रुफ गर्छौं ल. Let us prove the other formula. Now let us write another formula. Number 1 को 1, right? Not number 1, sorry. Okay, number, I think it was 3. This is 4. 4 number 1, right? So sine inverse x plus sine inverse y is equal to, its formula will be sine inverse within bracket x root over 1 minus y square plus y root over 1 minus x square, right? And number 2, formula for sine inverse x minus sine inverse y is equal to sine inverse within bracket x root over 1 minus y square, then comes minus sign here because there is minus sign. Here plus sign is here plus sign. Here minus sign is here minus sign. So it is y root over 1 minus x square. Is it clear now? So now this is the formula. So यो पनि तिमीले याद गर्नु किनभने हामीलाई प्रब्लममा यो सबै काम लाग्छ फर्मुलाहरु याद गर्नु पर्छ. So let us prove it. Okay, so let us prove it from right hand side. It will be easier for you to prove it from the right hand side. Okay, so अघि हामीले जुन चाहिँ number 1 number 2 मा फर्मुला लेखेको थियौ, that is sin inverse sin x is x, isn't it? Sin inverse sin x, you can write only x. or it may be cos inverse cos x छ भने x हामी त्यो फर्ममा लान्छौँ. So let us prove number 1. The number 1 म गरिदिन्छु, number 2 घरमा गर्नु, ठीक छ? So this number 2 will be a homework. I'll show you number 1 now. Okay? Now proof of 1. Proof of 1. So write on right hand side. RHS is equal to sine inverse within bracket x root over 1 minus y square plus y root over 1 minus x square, right? So now here you should do the trigonometric substitution, because if you get the form of sine inverse sine x, that is only the form. Sine inverse sine x छ भने हामी के लेख्छौं, खाली x मात्रै लेख्छौं. तर यो sin inverse sin x आउँदैन, अरै आउँछ यहाँ, ठीक छ? त यहाँ रुट ओभर भित्र 1 minus x square छ अनि रुट ओभर भित्र 1 minus y square छ. यसमा हामी trigonometric substitution गर्छौं. So look at the blackboard. So whenever you have root over भित्र 1 minus x square, ठीक छ? If you have within square root 1 minus x square, what will be the trigonometric substitution? त यसमा x इक्वल कति हाल्ने त? So you know the formula, isn't it? Sin square theta plus cos square theta is equal to 1. ठीक छ? So now, or it may be sin square theta is equal to 1 minus cos square theta, or it may be cos square theta is equal to 1 minus sin square theta. So now, whenever you prove this sin inverse x plus sin inverse y, that is RHS is equal to LHS, you have to prove it. So instead of x, what should you write? So now, if you write here cos theta is equal to root over 1 minus sin square theta. ठीक भयो? भनेपछि हामी x इक्वल कति हाल्छौं त? x इक्वल कति हालेको छ? sin theta हाल्नु. Because you have to prove is equal to in terms of sin inverse. The sin inverse x plus sin inverse y prove गरेछ भने चाहिँ हामी यो फर्मुला युज गर्न सक्छौं. If you put x is equal to sin theta, so root over 1 minus sin square theta is equal to what is the formula? Cos theta. Okay? So x is equal to sin theta नहालेर x is equal to sin a पनि हाल्न सक्छौं. Because there is other variable also, that is y. The y is equal to तिमीले के हाल्छौ? Sin b हाल्नु. यो x मा sin a, y मा हामी के हाल्छौ? Sin b. Because you have to prove sin inverse x plus sin inverse y. Okay? So in this case you should do trigonometric substitution. So we can convert it into the form of sin inverse sin x form. Okay? So whenever there is root over 1 minus x square, you may put x is equal to cos also. किनभने 1 minus cos square theta को formula छ. You may put either x is equal to cos or x is equal to sin. But in this particular formula, we are putting x is equal to sin, because you have to prove both the terms as sin inverse x plus sin inverse y. That's why you put x is equal to sin a and y is equal to sin b, because these are the two different variables here, x and y. That's why if you put x is equal to sin a, you should put y is equal to sin b. Let x is equal to, let us write here, sin a and y is equal to and y is equal to हामी के हाल्छौं? sin b हाल्छौं. त पहिला हामी यहाँबाट a भ्यालु निकाल्नु. अब sin ले पोजिसन चेन्ज गरे के हुन्छ रे? sin इन्भर्स. So a is equal to कति भयो? sin इन्भर्स. अनि यहाँ b is equal to कति भयो? यहाँ पनि sin ले पोजिसन चेन्ज गर्दैछ. Sin is taken to the left hand side, so it becomes inverse, sin inverse y. Is that clear? Next, now put these values of x and y on the right hand side. So therefore, now what is RHS? So RHS is equal to, this is sin inverse within first bracket. What is x out here? X is equal to sin a. So x was on के लेख्छौं? Sin a. Then within square root 1 minus, what is y square? It is sin square b, right? Next, plus sign is there. Plus, what is the value for y here? Sin b. Then within square root, What is 1 minus x square here? It is 1 minus x square here is sine square a. Is that clear to all of you? So now next, now we have to simplify this right hand side. So I am writing here, so which is equal to sine inverse within bracket, this is sine a into what is root over 1 minus sine square b. What is the formula? You know that it is cos b. You know it from class 10. You have done it in class 10, isn't it? Then plus sine b into what's about root over 1 minus sine square a? That is cos a. That is your cos a. Is that clear? So yeah, your bracket bitra which formula is used now? This is your sine a cos b plus cos a sine b, isn't it? What is the formula? This formula is from compound angle. That is sine a cos b plus cos a sine b. That is the formula from compound angle, which you have done it in class 11. That is sine of a plus b, isn't it? So which is equal to sine inverse. So this is sine of a plus b. So now this is in the form sine inverse sine of a plus b. This is in the form sine inverse sine of a plus b. Sine inverse sine x form is there. Instead of x there is a plus b. Okay. So which is equal to, what is sine inverse sine of a plus b? Or sine inverse sine cancel. So it is a plus b, which is equal to, what is a? A this is sine inverse x. Okay. A sine inverse x plus, and b sine inverse y. B sine inverse y. So we have proved this RHS is equal to LHS. So this formula is proved. So you homework you can prove it at home. Okay? Same method from right hand side. You put x is equal to sine a, y is equal to sine b. Likewise, you can do this. You can prove this formula. Is that clear now? Copy it. So now we'll do the next formula, that is 5. Formula 5. So 5 number 1 is cos inverse x plus cos inverse y is equal to, the formula is cos inverse within second bracket xy. अब यहाँ प्लस छ भने चाहिँ माइनस रुट ओभर it is 1 minus x square 1 minus y square, right? This is a formula for number 1, and number 2 is cos inverse x minus cos inverse y is equal to cos inverse within second bracket xy. यहाँ माइनस हुन्छ, अब यो के हुन्छ प्लस हुन्छ. So root over, now it is 1 minus x square into 1 minus y square. So these are the formulae again. Let us prove it again. Similarly, as in formula number 4, 1 and 2, we can prove them. So एउटा म गर्दिन्छु, एउटा होमवर्क गर्नु. बुझ्यो? Number 1 चाहिँ होमवर्क गर्ने. So number 1 is your homework. Now let us prove number 2. So proof of 2. Let us prove number 2. Here also prove it from the right hand side. Okay? Cos inverse cos x formula ले x मात्र लेख्ने. ठीक छ? तर cos inverse cos x चाहिँ आउँदैन, अरै आउँछ. ठीक भयो? So let us prove 5 number 2. So right on right hand side is equal to cos inverse xy plus root over 1 minus x square 1 minus y square, second bracket is closed. So here also you should do the trigonometric substitution. Okay, there is 1 minus x square. Either you can put x is equal to sine A or cos A. There is 1 minus y square. Here also either you can put y is equal to sine A or cos. Sorry, these are the two different variables. So y is equal, you should put it as sine B or cos B. If you put x is equal to sine A or cos B, you should put y is equal to sine B or cos B, right? But in this case, what should you put? Since you have to prove cos inverse x or cos inverse y, so you put x is equal to what? Cos A, y is equal to cos B. Okay, sir? Now you can prove it. Okay, let us prove this one. So now let us assume, let x is equal to cos A, since you have to prove cos inverse x, and y is equal to cos B, since you have to prove cos inverse y. So now from here, let us get the value for A and B only. So from here, A is equal to, whenever this cos changes its sides, it becomes cos inverse. Now here also, what is the value for B? B is equal to cos inverse y. Is that right? So now, so let us put the value for x and y on the right hand side, your right hand side, madam. So now RHS is equal to, now what is RHS here? It is cos inverse xy plus, next, root over 1 minus x square 1 minus y square, second bracket is closed. Now let us put the values of x and y that we have assumed. So is equal to cos inverse, what was the value for x? Cos A. What was y? Cos B, plus root over what is there now? What is 1 minus x square? 1 minus cos square A, 1 minus cos square B, right? So here second bracket is closed. Is that right? So now next is equal to cos inverse within bracket cos A cos B, then what is there? Plus root over, what is root over? What is 1 minus cos square A? Sin square A. What is 1 minus cos square B? That is your sin square B. That is your sin square B. Bracket closed. Is equal to, next, cos inverse within bracket cos A into cos B plus, what is square root of sin square A, sin square B? It is sin A sin B. There is square root are sin A into sin B. Okay. Now you know this formula from compound angle. What is cos A cos B plus sin A sin B? You know this, cos of A minus B is equal to cos inverse, this is cos of A minus B, is equal to, what is cos inverse cos of A minus B? It is A minus B. Now what was A? We had assumed, so A was cos inverse x, isn't it? You can check it. A was cos inverse x minus what was B? It was cos inverse y. So right hand side is proved. So cos inverse x minus cos inverse y. So it is proved. So you should know this formula again, isn't it? So you have to remember all this formula that we have done up to 5. Okay. Now let's do number 6. So you can copy it again. So now let us prove number 6. Okay. So let us prove number 6. So 6 number 1 is tan inverse x plus tan inverse y is equal to, this formula is tan inverse x plus y upon 1 minus xy. Okay, and number 2 is tan inverse x minus tan inverse y is equal to, it is tan inverse x minus y upon 1 plus xy. So now we will prove this formula. तिमीले याद पनि गर्नुपर्छ. Tan inverse x plus tan inverse y is equal to tan inverse x plus y upon 1 minus xy. If it is plus sign, there should be plus sign. If there is minus sign, there should be minus sign in the numerator and opposite sign in the denominator. Here also, if it is plus in the numerator, then minus should be in the denominator. Is that clear? So now let us prove it. Okay. So here also, the formula from compound angle from trigonometry must be used. Okay. So both sides tan inverse x plus tan inverse y is equal to tan inverse x plus y upon 1 minus xy. Tan inverse x minus tan inverse y is equal to tan inverse x minus y upon 1 plus xy. Or you may write tan inverse x plus y upon 1 minus xy is equal to tan inverse x plus tan inverse y, or tan inverse x minus y upon 1 plus xy is equal to tan inverse x minus tan inverse y. Okay, both sides तिमीले यो याद गर्नै पर्छ. So let us prove it now. So let us prove 6 number 2. Proof of 6 number 2. Okay. So number 1 is your homework, right? So let us prove it from right hand side again. So RHS is equal to tan inverse x minus y upon 1 plus xy. Right? So here also you should do the trigonometric substitution. X is equal to कति हाल्ने, y is equal to कति हाल्ने. अगाडिमा हामीले sin A, sin B, cos A, cos B हाल्यौं. अब यसमा चाहिँ यसले बुझाउँछ. Tan inverse x र tan inverse y ले पनि बुझाउँछ. X is equal to कति हाल्नु पर्ने, y is equal to कति हाल्नु पर्ने. X is equal to tan A हाल्नु अनि y is equal to के हाल्ने, tan B. So let x is equal to tan A and y is equal to के भयो, tan B हाल्ने. बुझ्दैछ? So next, what is the value for A here? A is equal to tan inverse x, and here B is equal to what? Tan inverse y. Is it clear? Tan लाई त भन्दा के हुन्छ, tan inverse y. So it is tan inverse x, the value for A. Tan लाई त भन्दा के value हुन्छ, tan inverse y, that is the value for B. Is that clear? Now you put these values of x and y on the right hand side. Okay? So now right hand side now becomes RHS is equal to tan inverse within bracket. Now put the value for x. What was the value for x here? It is tan A. Write down tan A. Then comes minus. What is the value for y? Tan B. Divided by, in the denominator, 1 plus tan A tan B. Is it clear now? Okay. Now what is tan A minus tan B upon 1 plus tan A tan B? What is the formula here? That is tan of A minus B. Okay. So which is equal to tan inverse your funny compound angle formula. Tan A minus tan B upon 1 plus tan A tan B भनेको थियो tan of A minus B. So tan of A minus B. So we got tan inverse tan of A minus B. It is just like your tan inverse tan x. Tan inverse tan x अब हामी के मात्र लेख्छौं, x मात्र लेख्छौं. यहाँ कति भयो? A minus B. So now put the value for A. What is the value for A? Tan inverse x minus, what is the value for B? It is tan inverse y. So it is done, proved. That is tan inverse x minus tan inverse y is equal to tan inverse x minus y upon 1 plus xy. That is proved. So you have to remember from both the sides. That is tan inverse x plus tan inverse y is equal to tan inverse within bracket x plus y upon 1 minus xy, or it may be tan inverse x plus y upon 1 minus xy is equal to tan inverse x plus tan inverse y. Similarly, you can both sides. So is it understood? Did you understand this proof? So number 1 is your homework. Okay, copy it. Now we'll do the next one. So let us do number 7th formula now. Okay. So now we'll do number 7th formula. Now formula number 7 को 1. So let us write cot inverse x plus cot inverse y is equal to, its formula will be cot inverse xy minus 1 divided by y plus x. This is the formula. Okay, cot inverse x plus cot inverse y, that is cot inverse x plus cot inverse y is equal to cot inverse xy minus 1 divided by y plus x. You should remember this formula. Okay, cot inverse x plus cot inverse y is equal to cot inverse xy minus 1 divided by y plus x. And number 2 is cot inverse x minus cot inverse y is equal to, what will be the formula? Similarly, it is cot inverse xy minus plus 1 divided by reverse y minus x. Okay, now let us prove it now. So you can prove it from compound angles again. That is cot of a plus b ra cot of a minus b को अब हामी यहाँ formula use गर्छौं. ठीक छ? So now the 7 number 1 we will do it here, and 7 number 2 will be our homework, right? Now let us prove it. Proof of 7 number 1. Proof of 7 number 1, right? So let us prove it from right hand side. So RHS is equal to cot inverse xy minus 1 divided by y plus x. So here also you should do the trigonometric substitution. X is equal to n, y is equal to n. यसले नै बुझाइहाल्छ. त यसमा चाहिँ हाम्रो के फर्मुला युज हुन्छ भन्दाखेरि from common angle cot of a plus b, right? From common angle, what is cot of a plus b formula? Can you tell me what is cot of a plus b? It is cot a cot b minus 1 whole divided by, what is the formula? Whole divided by cot b plus cot a. This is the formula. This formula is from the compound angle. That is, what is cot of a plus b is equal to cot a cot b minus 1 whole divided by cot b plus cot a. Okay, so you should assume x is equal to that cot a and y is equal to, you should use cot b. So it will be cot a cot b minus 1 divided by cot b plus cot a. So that you can use this formula cot of a plus b. Okay, so let us assume, let x is equal to cot a and y is equal to sec over cot b. So यहाँ हामी एक भाग निकालौं. What is a is equal to cot inverse x, cot यता हुँदा cot inverse, and what is b is equal to, this is cot inverse y. Okay, cot पे हाम्रो साइड चेन्ज गर्यो भने के भएर आउँछ? cot inverse. यहाँ पनि cot यता हुँदा के भएर आयो? cot inverse. ठीक छ? अब नेक्स्ट स्टेपमा, so this right hand side now becomes, so RHS is equal to, now what is RHS now? Now it is cot inverse within bracket, what is x here? X is equal to cot a, what is y? Your y भनेको त्यो cot b, then comes minus 1 whole divided by, what is y? cot b plus then cot a. Okay, so which is equal to which is equal to cot inverse, which is equal to cot inverse. Now what is the formula that you can use here? This formula. Cot A cot B minus 1 divided by cot B plus cot A भनेको cot of A plus B. So here also the same expression is there. So it is cot of A plus B, right? So what is cot inverse cot of A plus B? Which is equal to A plus B. Now you can substitute the values of A as well as B. So what was the value for A from here? It is cot inverse X. So write down. It is cot inverse X plus, what is the value for B? It is cot inverse Y. So it is done, proved. बुझ्यो? The similarly you can prove this number too. त आज हामीले 7 वटा फर्मुला लेख्यौं. यो 7 वटा फर्मुला तिमीले घरमा प्रुभ गर्नु, प्र्याक्टिस गर्नु, होमवर्क दिएको पनि गर्नु अनि यो याद पनि गर्नु. पछि हामी यो प्रब्लममा युज गर्ने छौं. त अझै छ 8 नम्बर देखि अझै छ फर्मुला तिमीले याद गर्नुपर्ने. त्यो चाहिँ म नेक्स्ट क्लासमा गराउँछु. बुझ्यो? त आज जति पनि गरेको छ यो रिभाइज इट एट होम, हैन? तिमीले खातामा लेख्नु, बुझ्नु छैन? त जति सक्दो तिमीले यो पनि प्र्याक्टिस गर्नु एज अ problem. As a problem, you have to practice it. अनि याद पनि गर्नु. बुझ्यो? So this much is for today. So goodbye. So this much is for today, right?